Good morning, students. Today's topic is latest updates of Indian economy. Let's start from the beginning of this year, 2020. As you all know, the Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs, Shrimati Nirmala Sitharaman, presented the Economic Survey 2019-20 on 31st of January 2020. The economic survey focuses on wealth creation for 130 crore Indians. It outlines the strategy to achieve a 5 trillion economy. The survey glorifies the ancient Indian economy's performance as it was the world's largest economy around 1700 AD. The survey quotes this from the book Contours of the World Economy, a book by Angus Maddison, a leading British economist specialized in quantitative macroeconomic history. The survey also promises to strengthen the invisible hand of the market and support it with the hand of trust. It conveys the message efficiently that wealth creation, though legitimate means, should come with a degree of pride and not an act of apology. Then on February 1st, 2020, Union Budget was presented by our respected Finance Minister. It was the longest budget speech with the major theme of ease of living. It also promised economic development for all with clean and sound financial sector. The budget has been built on a foundation of 10% growth of nominal GDP to 4.89 lakh crore in 2020-21. The budget estimate for government expenditure was nearly 30 lakh crores. Fiscal deficit target of 3.5% of GDP was set for 1920-21. And then, unfortunately, the pandemic changed the whole scenario of the world economics. The World Health Organization declared it as pandemic, and the Indian government had to announce a nationwide lockdown on March 24th. At present, India, with the fourth largest number of COVID-19 cases, struggling hard for reviving the economy. Now, if we see the policy makers' response, initially the government has announced a stimulus program with 23 billion US dollars, which was just 0.8% of the GDP. The package provided food and income security to low-income households. It was distributed among the general public through cash transfers, employment support, and credit and food support. Though it was inadequate to meet the sufferings of the people, more measures were announced after that by the Finance Ministry of India. The RBI has also stepped into to provide adequate liquidity to the country. The economic inactivity which adversely affected firms' revenue and cash flows. The global picture is more clear after the IMF on 24th June released the World Economic Outlook update in Washington. This report was revealed by the chief economist of IMF, Ms. Geeta Gopinath. She said that the extent of slowdown of Indian economy has surprised many. No doubt the great lockdown has saved the lives of the people but also triggered the worst recession since the Great Depression of 1930s. The IMF projected a sharp contraction of 4.5% for the Indian economy in 2020. I repeat, the IMF projected a sharp contraction of 4.5% for the Indian economy in 2020, which is the lowest for India since 1961. And the fact is that IMF does not have data beyond it. For China, it has projected at 1% in 2020. She has also warned the people around the world to get ready for the uncertainty prevailing in the coming months. Medical solutions can lead to a quicker resumption of economic activity. She is also afraid that international trade, which was already damaged by the fragile global relationships, is projected to collapse by around 12%. Geeta Gopinath suggested that Indian government should focus on structural reforms, clean up the banks and labor reforms. There should be more stress on domestic demand and on creation of employment. She is afraid that high fiscal activities will generate crowding out effect for the private investment. She appreciated the low food prices. It is a positive development by the efforts of the RBI to keep the inflation under control in India. But at the same time, low food prices hold back the farmers. Business sentiments have declined sharply. According to the World Bank, India grew about 10% in 2018-19, but this year investment might shrink by almost 3% over the year. Tax revenues are set to crash and debt to GDP ratio may spike up. Recovery needs reforms. There is chances of uneven recovery across the different sections of the economy. The sectors, for example, packed foods, automation, consumer electronic goods, and telecom will soon be recovered. Such the need of the hour is the fiscal measures. I repeat, the need of the hour is the fiscal measures that focus on long term, such as capital formation and foreign investment. The removal of dividend distribution tax is a great step to encourage private sector investments. PM Kisan scheme, Garib Kalyan Yojana, schemes for migrant workers will reduce the sufferings of the people. India is in a good position due to the country's ample foreign exchange resources and low short-term foreign debt. We hope that India will soon overcome the difficult period and regain its growth under the shadow of social distancing. Be positive but test negative. Thank you.